Nobody calls Han Solo a bitch.
Bring him on. I prefer a straight fight to all the sneaking around.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Oh, come on, bro. It's the wars.
Well, the moment we've been waiting for is finally here. Ahsoka has premiered. This is The Wars and More. I'm Joe, and of course with me is my good buddy Doug. Hey, Doug, how you doing this week?
Doing pretty good. Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, and as promised, Hunter is back to join us for the full run of Ahsoka. That's what you said, right?
I said what I said, and I'm here for it all.
All right. So, it's here, guys. It's here.
It's here.
Initial reactions, what you think, without getting too much into it, because we're going to have plenty of time to get into it, but just, hey, Doug, what you think?
Okay. There were things I liked, things that made me cringe a little, and yeah, nothing too outlandish, but and then I think what we are is just set up for the story moving forward. So,
right on, Hunter.
This is going to be probably the most positive you've ever heard me about Star Wars.
Wow. Okay, that's bold.
I'm gonna do something that I think I haven't ever done before. I'm gonna wait to say anything bad till the very end.
Ooh.
Wow.
All right.
Because I do have one thing, and I'm wondering if it's the same thing Doug has, but we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. And I feel the same way as Hunter. I'm probably going to be the most positive I've been in a while. That's saying a lot. But, yeah, this is, to me, this is the most like Star Wars we've had in a long time. So let's get into it. First episode, Master and Apprentice.
Right.
Where do we want to go here? I mean, Ahsoka's looking for this map. Well, we find that out because what's these characters' names? So Baylan Skoll, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And-
episode opens with Baylan, and you said, I
Shin.
keep forgetting her name. Yeah.
Shin
Shin Hati or Haiti?
Hati.
Yeah, the reverse Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan from Phantom Menace opening was really cool, and this whole episode kind of gave Phantom Menace vibes. But instant action,
Yes, and I gotta interrupt real quick. I got a kick out of the name Master and Apprentice, and then you get introduced to these two characters that are obviously, if not Darksiders, like teetering on that. But Shin has a Padawan braid.
Right.
Yeah.
If there's ever characters that we could call Dark Jedi in canon,
Yes.
these would be it.
Yes, I saw that Padawan braid, and I'm like, well, that's interesting.
Yeah, and she's definitely too young, right, to have any association with the actual order.
Oh, yeah.
I would think.
Okay. So, new Jedi Order, and we get Luke's, which is trying to do the whole light side thing, and then maybe this is more of a, hey, we just have the Force, have some morals, and that's it.
I don't know. Morals are really a thing either. They definitely seem like mercenaries.
I mean, yes, but Baylan at least, he's not like a cold-blooded killer. He seemed to only kill if he needed to. But I could be wrong.
Oh, no, I agree, because he told him you're making a mistake.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, okay,
Like,
I just got to throw this in
There was
there.
another option here.
I got to throw this in there because we see a lot recently of the hubris of the New Republic. Like, this captain's like, these guys aren't Jedi. I'm calling their bluff. It's like, really? When you have that important of a prisoner on board, you're going to do this? But okay.
Yeah, and just it's funny that the new Republic is so unlikable.
Right.
I feel like every scene we see with them, it's kind of like how we used to see Empire. It's like, yeah, they're not as straight up evil, but they're still just unlikable. I know that was I don't know if it was episode 2, but eventually when we see like, oh yeah, there's a lot of Imperials still working.
Yes.
With the new people, and it's kind of cool that it's not just an instant takeover.
Well,
I mean, you can't.
Exactly.
And of course they're not likable. It's government.
I was just going to say, it's bureaucracy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, weird. We got a new government and they suck.
The politicians lied. What?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Always. Right.
And I would think, like, taking over from the Empire, that's you're trying to establish a galactic-wide government with minimal resources. You're not going to make people happy.
No.
There's just no way. It's not like you can come in and it's just going to be unicorns and rainbows.
Right.
And not only that, but you have to deal with these remnants all over the place. So you need funding for that. You got to carry on a pseudo war effort.
Yeah. There's always going to be people looking to, plant their stake in the ground with the new government for sure.
All right. So yeah, we get to see some action right off the get, and I knew right away when I was watching. I was like, oh, I can't wait to hear Hunter on this. We got lightsabers again.
Actual Jedi stuff. Yep. Actual people know how to use lightsabers. The choreography seems a bit better than The Mandalorian. Seems a bit smoother.
Yeah.
So that feels good. It definitely feels more like movie quality and less like a TV show. And the whole vibe I got from these 2 episodes was this seems like a long movie, or the Rebels movie we were wanting.
All right. So one thing I have here too is I have the Rotten Tomatoes up for the first 2 episodes too, which are glowing, by the way. But one of the negative comments I've seen kind of repeated is how they don't seem to be moving very much to deflect blaster bolts. Now, did that feel off to you guys, or was that just fine?
This not negative thing. Spin it around. They were using the Force to attract them to the lightsabers.
Oh, did I just get to your negative?
No. That was okay. I feel like it's such a minor nitpick. I mean, we need the scene of showing the badasses be badasses, right? And I feel like this was that.
My thing was this. I thought, this is the way I went with it. I thought it was very Vader-like, and almost makes it more menacing, like it's less effort.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, he seems very trained. I think Baylan probably has that complaint from people more, because he seemed very robotic in the way. And I remember when the trailer came out, people said the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm watching him, and like I said, I like it because it's got that Darth Vader vibe. Like he's just walking through and very methodically just deflecting bolts. And I kind of dug it because it makes him more menacing.
The only difference I would say about like a Baylan and Vader is Vader was usually one-handed saber, the other hand force pushing or whatever he needed to do, Like
also Vader was literally robotic, so him moving in a robotic way
right.
makes sense.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, but I didn't really have a problem with that.
I was going to say it didn't really bug me.
No.
Yeah, I mean, like, it cracks me up because Rotten Tomatoes is really the negative comments and normally the positive comments crack me up because it's like, really, you really like that? But now this time I'm seeing the negative comments and I'm going, wow, really? That's your hill? Like that gives you 1 star because he seemed to have no effort deflecting blaster bolts?
1 star?
Because of that?
1 star.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
They just turned it off after that. Like, I've had enough.
Oh, there's
Exactly.
tons of that. Like, and
Jeez.
the one I really like is there's a post that says, I shut it off after 20 or like 40 seconds or something like that, and decided later I would go back and watch it. It's like, it's been a day and a half.
Oh my God. We missed
Like-
something so crucial. We got to crawl.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
No, we didn't. We got a scroll.
Well, a scroll. Yeah, it was red, which was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But still, I was like, wait, is this a movie?
Well, I like the transition to the ship coming across the bottom too after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like New Hope or something. Like it
It
felt
was
like a movie.
That was very Star Wars. That's
Which, I mean, Filoni directed it, so he probably meant to do exactly that.
well, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt just like 1, 4, and 7.
Well, I think it was appropriate to kick off this series because we didn't get it again in episode 2, right? But it was kind of like, here, let's catch you up real quick with what's going on and go, you know?
Yeah. I do almost wish this isn't a negative thing. I do almost wish it was longer just to give people who haven't seen Rebels more exposition.
I'm over that though.
You are? I'm curious to
And-
see.
and- No, at this point I'm over it because there's been plenty of time. Go watch it. Shut up.
Well,
I'm
like,
curious
seriously.
to see how someone who hasn't seen Rebels views this, if they're lost or if they kind of pick up on what's going on.
I do feel like there was just enough to keep those people moving along in this show. You know, we did have a lot of exposition by Ryder Azadi explaining what happened a few years ago with liberating Lothal and all that, you know.
True.
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 You had that kind of stuff. So there was just like I said, it's just enough. But that's one thing that's always been about Star Wars is, you know, we don't have to spell it all out for you. You can make some connections on your own, you know. So,
Yeah, this just feels the most, I feel like, Easter egg packed and most like, oh yeah, you need to view everything to get the most out of it.
to get the
compared
most out of
others.
it, yes. And it's
Yeah.
kind of like the bonus for the people who have seen Rebels, you know.
Yeah,
But-
this feels like season 5, like completely.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Let me just say this though, because this is another thing that, and I love that you ran right into this. This is another complaint on Rotten Tomatoes. Is like, I feel like you have to have watched the animation to understand what's going on. There's characters from animation, literally.
Yeah.
Ahsoka's from Clone Wars, Ahsoka's from Rebels.
Right.
You get a live action show about a character that has a history in 2 animated series. Guess what? You got to watch the animated series to catch up.
To get the whole story, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just get over it.
But
This is a character that is making the transition into live action, not vice versa. Okay? If you want the whole story, go watch it. If you don't, be happy with what you got.
Yeah. Or watch another Star Wars show because we have so many.
Or just move on. Go back and watch Andor or Obi-Wan. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
The only reason I'm even slightly worrying about this, because I am on the same boat as you. Like, this is great for us. We were waiting for this. This show is for us.
Right.
But it needs a lot of views to have this high of a budget for next season, if there is going to be one, I think. So that's the only thing I actually worry about, is if there's not a lot of viewers compared to like The Mandalorian, if they cut the budget.
I think if there's going to be a next season, I think there's still going to be all in because all of this is leading towards a feature film by Dave Filoni. So
Maybe, but they've
No,
done
they
so
announced
many
that.
like canceling of things. And
okay, true. Yes, just because they announce something doesn't mean it's going to happen. You're right.
yeah.
I don't feel like there's going to be a lack of viewership. I don't feel like that's an issue at all. And I mean, you got 2 episodes out, and like I said, still got Rotten Tomatoes up here. You got a critic score of 94. You got an audience score of 88.
That's pretty high, but it's only a day after, so I'd like to see.
Yeah,
maybe we go back to the reviews next week and see if there's more funny bad ones.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be more ridiculous bad ones.
Yeah,
like the ones that just want to write bad ones because they're like, look, I understand you're on a Disney hate train right now. It's fair, okay?
Yeah.
Disney has really done a lot lately to disconnect with their fans. But so far this show has not taken that route. And it could take that route, and I hope they don't. I hope they don't.
I really hope they don't. I mean, I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. Even if it was more setup stuff, I didn't have a problem with it being setup stuff.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
so,
I'm jumping in just to throw this out there and say I was right. I called it. Remember, Joe, last week? I said this was going to probably
I'm waiting to hear what you called.
Start like a little bit before our postscript of Rebels and lead right up to that point, and that's where we're at. So.
Oh, how it didn't start right exactly where Rebels ended?
Right.
I'm still a bit confused how they handled that. Because we got that reenactment, sort of. It like Ahsoka looks different, didn't have the whole staff.
True.
And then the dialogue was a little different. So I'm still wondering if that either happens like later on or before. I don't know.
So did you watch? I went back and watched that little postscript in Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all got a voiceover by Sabine. So there really isn't any dialogue between Ahsoka and Sabine.
Oh, so we can say that's the same.
Right. It's almost beat for beat. I mean, she walks up and touches Ezra's face on the mural, you know.
Yeah, I saw pictures comparing that. The whole staff thing confused me.
The staff was the only thing that really was obviously missing for me, but yeah.
And obviously when we saw Rebels, we were thinking, this is Ahsoka just getting back, instead of now we know, they trained together.
Right.
And Ahsoka's been around, which that was a huge
We now know that was a significant period of time.
Correct.
Before that happened, which I like.
I like it too, and I also like, because I was really worried that they were going to just make Sabine a super powerful Jedi off screen, and I really like that we got kind of confirmation that no, she's just training like the lightsaber forms and like the warrior way, instead of it just being, yep, you have the Force now.
So I have to say the star player for me was Huyang.
Yeah,
when he basically told Sabine, it's like, you're pretty much the worst Jedi Padawan I've ever seen, but
yeah,
keep at it,
But keep at it, because why not? You got nothing else to live for.
Exactly.
He pretty much said, yeah, you're pretty much the worst, but it's because you're a whiner.
Right. Exactly.
We all said, like, I'm glad he didn't actually say like midi-chlorian or anything, but he pretty much said, like, your Force sensitivity is trash.
Right.
Which I like, because in Rebels, we kind of got to see her learn her own way of fighting against Force users. Like, use the jetpack, use like all of your tricks.
Sure.
Because when Kanan taught her, I thought that was kind of cool. Made her like a different kind of warrior that we haven't really seen. I thought the Mandalorian was going to turn into it, but he's just kind of this big walking tank.
Right. Because you're talking about the stuff she did with like the
dark saber training.
Yeah, but she would use, instead of being able to like pull stuff to her with the Force, she would use like her little grappling hook and her gauntlet and stuff like that. Yeah, yes. Gotcha.
So I do like that we're still on that instead of it just being a traditional master and apprentice.
Right.
Well, I mean, with the way they're talking, she obviously has some Force sensitivity.
Some. But I still hope she fights in that unique way. Just to show that, like, not everyone's a can be a super powerful Jedi or whatever, I guess.
You bring up Force sensitivity. I would like to just bring this up real quick. They are making it very clear how attuned to the Force Ahsoka is.
Yeah,
have you noticed?
She has the memory thing that Cal Kestis has.
Like, just walking into an area and hearing remnants of what went down there and that kind of stuff, you know, being able to hear kind of what Sabine's dreaming about, you know, this is pretty cool stuff. I don't know.
Straight out of Jedi Survivor, the game.
Okay.
Which I think is cool. It's kind of one of the things they do, right? They introduce a Force power and then other people start showing up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it fits. I mean, we still don't really know how powerful, I guess, her connection to the daughter is. But she pretty much is her, right?
Sure.
Like the Mortis, right?
I don't know if she's pretty much her.
I felt like the connection, like she kind of took her place.
Are you saying that because of the owly thingy?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And also just how many Force powers she now has. I mean, like this whole like memory thing seems more than we've ever seen her have, even in Rebels. So I don't know.
Yeah, what is this called in the game? It's like the Force Echo or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of you get the echoes of things that happen there.
Yeah, it's just a thing to have collectibles for, but it ends up being really cool story-wise.
Definitely makes her a kick-ass detective.
Yeah, for sure.
It was also cool when we saw her going to find the map originally, how she still does kind of the same things, like or I guess the callbacks, like throwing the sabers on the ground and doing the Force spin to go below. I thought that was a cool callback from the Clone Wars.
Yeah, it was. I got like big time Indiana Jones vibes too. And,
yeah.
But I will say, I did really like this mashup between, you know, you're looking for a star map, which is a little sphere that projects a map of the galaxy in another galaxy. So, but it's like when she aligns all these pillars correctly, there's all these, you hear all the gears working and stuff. It's like something Star Wars has always done really well is a mashup between like ancient technology and new technology, you know? So all that is like spot on.
Although,
yep,
I'm going to make the first negative comment.
Sweet. Someone has to do it.
All right. I gotta ask, what the hell is up with ancient artifacts leading to the bad guy? They did it in the sequel trilogy,
right,
with the dagger, and they're doing it here with the star map. How does this ancient star map lead you to Thrawn?
Well, it leads you to the other galaxy, and somehow or another, they know that's where he's stranded.
Yeah, that's my point. So you need this ancient artifact to figure out how to get there. If you know he's there, you know where it's at. Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm going to counter. You know how I forget her name? I want to call her Dathomir Witch.
Morgan.
Yes, her.
Dathomir Witch.
Dathomir, yeah, because that's what she is, right?
Yeah.
She's like
she's a night sister.
Yeah, night sister. The way she was like, I hear Thrawn calling to me.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like that's not Thrawn. That's like something else. And this is all a trap.
Okay. Yes. I think she has ulterior motives here. Like, Thrawn's in play, but she talks about another beings from another galaxy created this place, right? And she talks about being able to hear Thrawn through space and time. You know, there's a lot going on there that
Yeah, the
I think
time thing.
there's more to this story that we are not privy to yet.
I hear a lot of people saying Yuuzhan Vong.
Really?
Yeah. Different galaxy. Perfect time to introduce them. Instead of actually beating them, they just close off this gateway to the other galaxy.
Interesting.
I don't love it. I'm not completely sold.
Right.
Or it could also be the Grisk, as we've talked about.
Well, the Grisk was my first thought, because there was talk about the Grisk in the Thrawn novels, and
right.
Like,
it would be cool.
This is something that could be, but the Grisk are not from another galaxy.
Yeah, that's the only thing where I'm like,
and it's already established that they're not from another galaxy.
Yeah.
I guess we're going down this road right now. I have a thought. It's Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni likes to weave in EU stuff, but there's going to be a change. Right?
Yeah.
Ancient peoples.
Okay.
What do you guys think they could go the Rakata route?
The Rakata.
Yeah. Remind me, Joe.
Rakata. So like Starforge.
Oh, yeah, like the KOTOR stuff.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they could.
And
I mean, the whole map thing seems very Starforgey.
And the reason I say that is because of the Night Sister involvement and the Rakata having a kind of Force mentality about them. They were significant with the Force. They weren't necessarily Force users, but they were in tune with it.
I think I'd rather have Yuuzhan Vong, but that could also work. I think, yeah. And it would be cool if we saw some of them in the High Republic stuff, so that it could kind of cross over a bit more. But yeah.
You been getting into the High Republic stuff?
Not at all. But I'm just saying. So
I am literally the only one I know that's reading this shit.
Well, you gotta tell us what's good. Once you finally tell us something that's good, we'll get on it.
It's all good. You should read it.
Oh, okay. But yeah, the different galaxy, the leading thing, like I said, that's my thought, is that it's something else is calling her. So I don't have a problem as much as like the sequel trilogy, where it was this ancient dagger leading exactly to the place.
Right.
Because
you're standing just in the right spot for some reason.
Yeah. Anyway.
Uh-huh.
But I am.
At least the star map is like cool. The dagger was dumb.
Yeah,
yes.
And it had so much potential to be
star.
Cool. It had so much potential to be cool, right? Because it's a dagger.
Right.
But no. Just like you just hold this dagger up like this, and it has a little arrow that points where you're supposed to go.
Yeah, it could have been like you had to stab someone, and it's like a pool of blood, and that's the map.
Well, that would have been cooler.
Yeah, right.
Honestly, it's a Sith dagger.
That makes sense.
Right?
Ancient Sith weapon. Like
right.
What? But I am a little sick of the classic. Oh, activate the thing. Right when it's activated, it gets stolen. But
well, that was
yeah. It was a given. But I did like how we got to see Sabine fight. This was one of my favorite things, like, go in detail of, I guess, is I mean, she was instantly attacked and she had to use whatever she could, but before following them downstairs, she kind of like froze for a second, and she looked at her Mandalorian stuff, and then she looked at Ezra's lightsaber, and instead of like knowing what to do, she hesitated. And I saw someone, I don't know who it was, I wish I could source them because it's not my original idea, say it's kind of like her not knowing who she truly is right now. and her grabbing
Or
the
how about
lightsaber
this?
is like who she wants to be.
Or how about this? My thought was when I saw that, and this she is in tune with the Force. And she froze because something told her the weapon she needed right then was the lightsaber.
But then she got her ass kicked.
Yes, but
Yeah, but if she would have had a blaster, she got her ass kicked a lot faster.
Maybe. I
Probably.
I feel like
Yeah,
the
maybe.
armor. I don't know. She's more accustomed to fighting that
Well,
way.
she didn't have time to dress.
exactly.
I know, but I think it was a symbolism from like the end. I know we're jumping, but end of episode 2, how she
Like,
shows
she
up.
couldn't go like,
fully-
"Hey, you assholes, wait right there. I need to put my gear on."
Well,
yeah.
she kind of did wait. She kind of hesitated. I don't know.
She hesitated for a second.
Yeah,
She didn't have time to put on gear.
I just think the fact that in the end of episode 2, the fact that when she says she is ready, she is wearing the full armor with the blaster, all that stuff, was to show that she was holding something back.
Well, yeah,
And-
because she needs every piece of it.
That's
Yeah,
all of that all together makes up Sabine Wren.
yeah, it's not just one or the other. I feel like in the beginning she was just trying to be a Jedi to impress Ahsoka. But she didn't do too bad with it. She held her ground.
Oh, yeah, she did fine.
So an actual solid fight. I do really miss, I guess this is a nitpick, not something negative. I do really miss lightsaber battles being zoomed out.
I'm with you.
This new like super zoomed in and constantly cutting stuff that like Obi-Wan also did a bit. Not really a fan of.
The constant crossed blades, right? Like they got to look in each other's faces all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I don't like that so much.
and then you always get the extra little push, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're overdoing that. I'm with
Yeah.
you. I'd like
Yeah.
to see some zoomed out,
And like just hold the shot. Like if we saw like a minute long one cut scene of them just fighting, it'd be incredible. People would go crazy.
Yeah, let's stop ignoring that our favorite lightsaber battle of all time is Mustafar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, let's stop ignoring that.
Yeah.
Do
like,
it.
It did a lot of good stuff. And the whole
Like, did it have its problems? Sure.
I have a feeling we might get there in this series.
Oh, I'm with you.
I hope
like,
so. The Ahsoka fight was slightly better with that. Like it was a bit more zoomed out where we got to see more movement and less like jumping.
That lightsaber battle was like Mortal Kombat style lightsaber battle. It just looked that way.
I love how brutal Ahsoka is. Like just she doesn't hesitate at all. It was cool seeing that one in her fight.
You talk about the fight with the Inquisitor?
Yeah, with the Inquisitor and the robot at the same time.
She totally
traps
made
them
the
both.
cross lightsaber move to cut his head off. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so sick. So good. Okay, and Hera and Chopper,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Because then they show up for the first time, at least in
Live
person after the fight. Jumping around a lot, but still.
Yeah, it's what we do here, so you're fine.
That's fine.
Okay. But yeah, Hera.
We always
Hera-
start with structure, and then it's just gone.
And then, yeah, it will be a lot easier when we're only doing one episode. I feel like 2 is very hard.
it
Because it really
doesn't
did
matter.
feel like a movie.
So I have to say, Hera and Chopper pursuing the shipment, no, the hyperdrive core
Yeah.
was awesome. That was Rebels. I mean,
It was so Rebels, and I laughed so hard. Did
Exactly.
you guys see the whole video translating what Chopper was saying?
no, but I mean, it was kind of obvious.
Okay.
Somebody's
Okay.
messing with my stuff. Nobody's messing with your stuff. Oh,
Yes.
yes, you did.
Did you check under the battery? Oh, there it is. It's perfect.
Yes.
And I love that Chopper's still just a maniac.
Exactly.
She does the whole thing, or Chopper does the whole thing where he's like, oh, let's just blow them up. She's like, we can't. It'll hit civilians. He's like, so how's that our problem? It's perfect.
It is.
And he
I
looks
love
fantastic.
I love the very beginning of that, right? Like, she's pursuing the ship, and they start shooting him, and the chopper's like banging on the side of the ship. Like, what the hell are you doing? They're shooting at us, you crazy ass.
And I love that for some people, this is the first they'll see of Chopper.
Exactly.
And they're going to be like, this is the best droid ever in Star Wars.
Dave Filoni still the voice?
Yep. But I liked what they're doing. I thought we were going to... I'm really surprised we didn't see Jason.
Are you, though?
I'm not surprised.
I am. I thought, like, when we first saw Hera, we'd see Jason or at least hear about what he's doing.
If we see Jason, I got a feeling we'll see Jason in the context of, well, he's just on the Ghost or something, you know?
I feel like they're going to change his look.
I don't know. When you get the whole Rebels crew back together, because I honestly believe this has to happen, he's got to be taking Kanan's spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that. Also, I definitely think they're going to go get Zeb. I don't know if it's like next episode, but I could see that happening very soon.
I would like to see it happen very soon.
Yes.
Just because they're going to the outer region after this place. And that's kind of where he's hanging out right now, so...
Hey, if anyone knows how to handle wonky travel, it's Zeb.
Right.
Exactly. But yeah, fighting was great. I think it was way better than Mandalorian. A lot less clunky.
I want to go back to the beginning a little bit.
Okay.
These HK droids.
Yep.
The self-destruct.
To the nukes.
Right.
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got a couple little, like, grenades.
Yeah.
It just, like, levels half the planet. Like,
Yeah, I thought that was funny. It's like, wait, just send these in and have them explode. What do you mean? Why are you even fighting?
Why'd they even fight?
Right.
Yeah.
They could have did that while she was down there and just, like, dead.
Yeah. Or have one do it while the other two are making her not be able to run away. But it was a cool shot.
Oh, it was cool. Oh, it was really cool.
I mean, the only thing for me that was missing is when she hears the droid head say, initiate self-destruct. I would have liked to have seen a little Ahsoka style comment there, like just an oh boy or something, She's kind of like,
hit the thing.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, you hit the thing.
So shall we do that then?
So you guys don't like how serious Ahsoka is?
Well, she's moody.
It's
she's
not
broody.
about how serious. She feels only... I saw some people saying she seems sad, which obviously what she's been with, that's true. But she doesn't have any Ahsoka, like, sass.
Right.
Or, like the way she talks to Sabine doesn't feel like what we know Ahsoka would do. I feel like there's no warmness. She feels very cold.
Yes.
Yeah,
and I'm hoping we see what made her that way.
Exactly. There's been talk, Hera said it, especially with the history between you two or whatever. Okay, yes, we need to know kind of what went down in order to truly understand why Ahsoka's acting this way. Because whatever this is in the air between them, it's heavy, and it's like weighing things down a little bit.
Yeah, it's like they can't even stay in the same room.
But I do want to point you guys to Rebels a little bit. Like, Ahsoka was already heading this direction.
Yeah, but she was still smiling, making witty comments, giving people advice. Like,
but we're 20 years from that.
Yes. No, don't get me wrong. I understand. Okay. She, to be in her shoes, it's like, what if I never left the order? What if I was still around for Anakin? What if, what if, right? Big what if.
Her entire life is what if.
I get that.
Like, what if I teamed up with Maul?
Right. It's all kinds of stuff there, that can change you. But it's even some of the looks that she was giving Hera when Hera's like, hey, why don't you, train Sabine? And she's just kind of like almost rolling her eyes,
Yeah.
Actually, an eye roll probably would have suited Ahsoka.
Right?
Yeah.
True. Exactly.
An eye roll would have been perfect.
Yes.
I also think, like, even compared to when we saw her in Mandalorian, she seems more cold now. Because she was still making jokes with Grogu and smiling. Same with Luke. And now she seems like just everything is... I guess it is everything is serious. But also just cold to everyone.
Yeah, but at the same time, you get to the end of these episodes, and what's her comment, right? Nice haircut.
True.
I mean,
I'm hoping that's the ice breaking back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, even though this is my biggest complaint, I also think it's something that, if it's an acting thing, it will get better with each episode. Because I don't know if it's a directing thing or an acting thing.
So I just want to be clear. It's not killing it for me, but it's noticeable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just would like to, like I said, remind like when we got to Ahsoka and Rebels, you got a much more serious character.
Yes.
A character that was reeling everybody back all the time.
Fully aware. But also had
and we are several years on from that.
Yep.
And more war, more, like, granted, it's all stuff we're assuming off screen, but like, this is going to wear on you.
Sure.
And we're definitely in the territory where, when we met Ahsoka and we watched her growth and stuff, she was the kid.
Yeah.
Ahsoka's the mom now, right? Like,
totally. But as someone who is about the age I assume Ahsoka would be at this point, it doesn't mean, you've had a lot of life-weary experiences, right? And it doesn't completely change your personality,
Unless we see some crazy stuff in the flashbacks. I think that's what it's going to, like, sell me on it, I guess. Like, if we see what happened with their training, what did they go through, did they lose someone? Because then I could totally see it.
how many quips have we seen out of Ahsoka after she was pulled out of her death?
A couple. Maybe. I gotta rewatch it, honestly. How much of her do we actually get after that?
Not much.
No. Because it's like Ezra kind of says bye, and that's it, huh? Do we know how long after, like, the whole Grogu, like, Book of Boba Fett part this is?
No.
Yeah.
Because the timeline is starting to confuse me a bit. Because when Hera's like, who would be the best person for this? I was thinking Luke.
Right.
Like, why wouldn't you go get Luke?
Well, because Luke's going to look at it the same way Ahsoka's going to look at it. They said you're looking at symbols and stuff like that. So Sabine is the best choice because she's got that artistic look, right?
Yeah, how they said it.
Yeah.
I would just think this seems like an all hands on deck.
I think this is post the Book of Boba Fett stuff and
totally. Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. The timeline's definitely getting muddied right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure
I can see them not saying anything just to be like, yeah, this all works.
it will all be made clear for us, I'm sure, in some,
in the movie that they're making after all this is done.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
In the Avengers Assemble movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
Exactly.
So I gotta make a comment about the previews and the trailers and stuff that we've seen. We made the jump just because of the way it looked that we were going to see this kind of world between worlds kind of thing going on.
Right.
I don't think we're going to see that. After seeing how the star map worked in that little pedestal there.
I'm totally with you all the way up until I got tilted back the other way just a touch when Morgan said
space out of time.
Space and time.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay. I mean, how else do we do this? Maybe they have another way that, we don't know about yet, but that's all we've seen so far as space and time is the world between worlds so far. So. Because I agree with you. I mean, all of the imagery and stuff that we were looking at that made us think world between worlds, you're right, is all these maps and things. But,
Yeah, the second they put it on that pedestal there on that, I should have wrote down that planet's name.
Cetos.
Cetos, yeah. Whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's obviously where this initial lightsaber battle between Ahsoka and Baylan is going to happen.
Right.
Like right as they're leaving, probably.
Yeah.
Something I was going to say that I thought you were going to talk about when you mentioned the trailers is one of my favorite things. I feel like we've seen most of the trailer stuff in the first 2 episodes.
Most of it, I would agree.
Besides the Baylan and Ahsoka stuff, obviously, but like most of it.
Like moving forward, we're going to have fresh content.
New stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is just Thrawn.
I have a feeling that Thrawn thing is going to end season 1.
I hope not. I really, really hope not.
I mean, so far, I mean, it's the MacGuffin here, I mean,
yeah,
it's moving the story along.
If they were to do that, I'm actually going to be really mad that they showed it in the trailer.
Well,
I'm already mad.
I was going to say,
why I feel like it needs to happen within like the next 2 episodes. Because if it was the ending, that would be incredible. But since we've already seen it, it's just not going to feel that great.
Yeah, I got a feeling it might not feel that great.
Don't do this to me.
I'm just.
Oh no, it's going to be the end, dude.
Oh, picture this, right? What we saw of Thrawn, he's walking towards the bridge window, right, and looking off in the distance. It's, oh, look, here's the giant ring thingy that's going to take me back.
Yeah,
and end the season,
Yeah. Here's a question. Do you guys think Ezra's alive?
Don't know. I actually went back and forth on that one myself. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because before this came out, I was on the whole like, of course he's alive, of course he's alive. But I feel like this is going to need to be like a big emotional impact moment that tests them from falling from the dark side or falling to the dark side.
Because there's been so much emphasis put on finding Ezra along with Thrawn, It's
and it'd be so heartbreaking.
Right.
All right. Guess I got to get to my next thing. So I have to call into question these Thrawn novels.
Okay.
And where they're headed here. Hunter, have you read all of the Thrawn novels?
I don't think I read the second trilogy's second and third book.
Oh, God damn it.
Is that exactly what I need to read?
Oh, I mean, in order to understand what I'm bitching about.
Well, maybe I did. It's been a while though.
Okay. Do you know what Thrawn's looking for in this galaxy, in this part of the galaxy?
Specifically, I thought it was just power, but no.
He's looking for people to help the
to
Chiss.
join the Chiss. Yeah, that's why he gets Eli, right?
Yes.
Okay, and the original thing is we were thinking that he recruited Ezra, possibly.
Yes.
And that was our happy, hopefully that happens thought.
Yeah, and now he's just going to come back and lead the Empire because it's the most important thing in the world to him?
That's why I think something else is calling them. I'm hoping, like, because how would Thrawn be able to contact her out of time, whatever that means?
Here's okay. I have not read these books, so I have a lot of details missing, okay? But just going off of what you just described, Joe, it makes sense to me that Thrawn would tell, what is it, the Chiss Ascendancy? Hey, here's some people or whatever, however that goes. And if I can get back there, I'm in command. I can deliver this other galaxy to you, kind of thing.
Right, but so here's my thing. The books kind of made it seem like it was an imminent threat. Right? So it being an imminent threat, why is it taking 40 years to figure this shit out?
Yeah, like what have they been doing that? Well, it hasn't been that long, has it?
It's got to be close.
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
because the original idea is we thought that the whales pretty much took him to the Chiss. That was kind of our guess, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like, no, it took them to a whole different galaxy.
I'm just throwing this out there. I'm thinking we're somewhere in the 6 to 10 year range. From when Ezra and Thrawn went with the Pyrgils to now in this show.
Right. But as Thrawn initially started his scouting and things like that back during the Clone Wars.
Okay. Then yes, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, because he originally wanted Anakin. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And he was there in the beginning of the Empire.
Yes.
So how old's Ezra at this point? Okay, so let's say 30 years.
Okay.
Sound right?
Yeah, because Thrawn would have to be like, mid-50s?
At least.
Yeah, that checks out. Ezra's like late 20s, I think. I don't know how old he was at the end of
By this point?
Well, remember he was born on the first Empire Day, right?
Oh, so he's the same age as Luke.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's right.
But he's in his 30s.
That's going to feel weird.
Yeah. And this imminent threat is taking a long time.
Well, that's why I think like they're going to open up the gateway for the threat to get there.
Okay.
I could see that happening, but I get your point of view. Because it definitely, it seems like they're having to work around the movie timelines a lot instead of making it make sense.
Yes. They are more focused on making the First Order make sense.
Which is getting harder and harder to believe that happens after this.
Well, it should be going on concurrently, really.
Which they kind of hinted at in this last season of The Mandalorian.
Yes, they did actually.
Could be cool if they get stuck in a different galaxy, and that's why they weren't there to help.
So
that's a pretty good excuse.
That right there actually squares up the timeline.
Yeah.
What's that? Mandalorian stuff?
Yes.
For the First Order stuff. I guess we're just to assume the Chiss had been wiped out because Thrawn was screwing around.
Yeah, like where are they?
Yeah, maybe.
Huh.
Okay. I'm going to throw one more thing in here, and this is a common nit to pick, but I guess we'll just get our takes.
Nit to pick. I like it.
How many people survive getting stabbed with a lightsaber these days? This.
I saw a lot of people complaining on this.
Because, seems like everyone can survive except Qui-Gon now. And
so I saw the argument was Qui-Gon got stabbed like in the middle of the chest, like through the spine.
Sure.
But yes. I mean, obviously we saw it was weird though. It almost seemed like Shin was able to like take her down and then moved last second. So maybe she wasn't trying to kill her because she didn't stab like a fatal spot.
Yeah, I mean, that's the obvious thing here is that it's not a fatal spot.
Okay.
You're not going to bounce back real fast after that, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's specifically because Qui-Gon died from something that maybe didn't look totally fatal.
I mean,
well, we thought it was back then.
Let's just go this route then. Balin totally cut a guy in the back of his leg and killed him in the beginning.
Right.
So
I noticed that.
He didn't die. He's just he passed out from shock.
We'll say he was the guy on the stretcher when Ahsoka came to meet up with Hera.
Yeah.
Right.
He'll be back.
Okay.
I don't know.
He'll be back.
But I don't know. It's feeling kind of, I don't know. These lightsabers.
There's a lot of that now.
Yes.
Yeah. I did like how surprised I was when it actually happened. Like when she actually got stabbed, I was like, oh wait, oh whoa, this is happening. I thought it was just going to end with like them running away from each other like every other lightsaber fight. But no, she actually got like taken down, which I liked. And honestly, I thought Ahsoka was going to do some like daughter healing power thing or something.
I think that's what they're trying to walk back here.
Yeah, the whole healing thing.
Because Kylo Ren, yeah, he totally got stabbed in a bad spot.
Yeah, and he died.
Then he got the Mystic Force heals.
Yeah, I just figured if anyone can heal, it'd make sense if it was Ahsoka. Because she was originally healed from the like darkness stuff, so like that transference of energy. I don't know. It makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I just don't like the fact that it happens in nearly every Star Wars show now, except for the ones that don't have lightsabers. But I don't know.
So, what's your other? So it happened with Kylo Ren,
right?
Who else did it happen with?
So there was what's his name? Oh my gosh. In Obi-Wan, the Inquisitor. The Grand Inquisitor.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they explained his big time though.
Yeah, how many stomachs does Sabine Wren have?
He's got like 17 or something like
that.
Right,
yeah. So
okay, and then
Riva,
yeah, that was Reyna. But yeah.
That's 2 in one show. Know what I mean?
I feel like someone in Mandalorian definitely got stabbed and survived. Could be wrong. I don't have as much of a problem with it. I think this one specifically looked like it grazed her more. Like, I know it went through, but it was definitely to the side. And then she immediately got medical help. So the whole thing with Qui-Gon is like, Obi-Wan had to still continue that fight. They were still battling outside, so he couldn't really get a ambulance there. But in this, she was instantly able to get to a hospital type deal.
I agree with everything you're saying. I just feel like it's, for the sake of storytelling, diminished a little bit what, being run through with a lightsaber does to
That's totally fair.
And it definitely diminishes everything that happens with these quick blows as they're walking through a hallway dispatching people.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, like you see the big gash in the arm or whatever, or the leg, like you said. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, in this case, if that's what would have happened to Ahsoka, I almost wanted to say I'd have been happier if she'd have lost a hand or an arm, but not so much. I mean, if it would have just been a severe blow to an arm and not severed, it would have felt better to me. You know what I'm saying? Because that could be enough to take you out of the fight.
It's hard to make a lightsaber fight have any kind of merit, I guess. Because someone needs to get hurt, but how do you hurt someone and not kill them with a lightsaber?
Right. Well, that's where severed limbs come into play.
But then that gets old too.
Sure.
How many arms get cut off when you could just cut them in half?
But at the same time, you got a lightsaber.
Yeah.
You're gonna have arms getting cut off.
Exactly.
I think this is
It just makes sense.
This is the whole problem too with anything, right? It's okay, if they're shooting people, if it's not a named character, they will die in one blast no matter where they're hit from.
Right.
And then anyone else can take 10 and still walk.
Ask Anakin how many limbs you can lose.
I had no issue with this. I actually liked that they did it, just because it gave a lot of dramatic effect to that.
Yeah.
Because I instantly, just processing it in a moment, not thinking about oh, I see Sabine with short hair later, so not even thinking about that. I was just oh, wow, really? We're doing this?
Yeah, I'm
going to kill a character this early? This is crazy.
I will say that made that moment less impactful for me, because you're right. I knew it at that moment that I did see Sabine with short hair, and up to this point in the show, I hadn't seen her with short hair, so I knew, okay, she's not going to die. So it's less impactful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was just a Force ghost. That's
oh, gotcha.
That's just a Force ghost.
No, I didn't even think about it in the moment.
Yeah.
I did, because
drama, the battle, and everything. And when it happened, it was oh no.
Because right when it happened, Lo says, "You can't kill Sabine," and it was I looked over at her. It was
don't worry about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's straight curmudgeon style. It's fine.
It actually, believe it or not, it actually occurred to her at the same time, though. She was like, "Oh yeah, there's short hair." Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean,
yeah.
They got me for a second, so
I was more surprised just because I feel every time we get to that point where someone's going to get hurt, someone breaks them up, and this time we actually got to see it happen. I thought Ahsoka was going to show up and then Shin was just going to run away. It was cool.
Right. I will say, for the sake of Sabine not succumbing to the wound, and I do like the fact that Ahsoka was on her way there. Right? So she was going to get there right away.
Yep.
And we see all that happening. Okay, I get that. That's good. But I don't know.
We'll see if it happens again. Maybe if it happens again, we'll be on your side.
I guess all I'm saying is get creative with lightsaber wounds. Yeah.
It seems so hard to do.
I know. But hey.
Also, did they get rid of force sprinting?
No.
Because, like, why didn't Ahsoka just, like, force sprint there? I feel like we never see that anymore.
Dramatic effect.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because Shin's first move in the show was very fast.
Oh yeah, yeah.
True. I also like we didn't really, I don't know how much we talked about it, but I like their relationship a lot. Balin and Shin.
Yes.
Like they seem like an actual master and apprentice, like a Jedi for the first time, but they seem more dark sidey.
Yeah. That's
big fan.
That whole situation is one place that I hope they explore some more, because I like to. It's like Balin talks about the Jedi Order, talks about fairy tales with the younglings at the Jedi Order, the Padawans, and even mentions like it would be a shame to have to see Ahsoka Tano killed.
Like his goal isn't to kill Jedi, so he's not really a Sith.
So he's like, it's like, where do you sit? I mean, is it straight up mercenary or what? I mean, and if so, why are you taking on a Padawan and because you're still trying to pass this knowledge down, but you've distorted it,
I don't know, but like I gotta say, like this is the first 2 episodes of this series, and I gotta say these are the most intriguing villains of the Disney era in Star Wars.
Yeah,
easily.
I have not been this interested in villains since the Disney acquisition. Like I just haven't. Like these 2, I'm interested.
I think in Force Awakens I was interested in Snoke.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what took a lot of it away from me in that is the fact that they had to make him 3 stories tall in that.
Yeah.
Like that was too much.
Yeah. That was random. Like, why is the hologram so big?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was too much. And I was not as interested in Snoke as I should have been.
That's fair. I almost don't think these are bad people. Like they just have
that's
different
what
objectives.
Also makes them very intriguing. They're not necessarily they're not Sith, right?
We don't
they're
think
not
so.
Sith, they're not Jedi. There's something in between.
I almost feel like they're what Ahsoka is, even though they're calling her a Jedi Knight now, which I absolutely hate.
Well, he did use Ahsoka's line from before, right? I'm no Jedi. So
yes.
It's like, okay. So it's like you have the both ends of the spectrum, the light and the dark, right? And if you take 3 steps closer to the middle, that's where Ahsoka and Balin lie on the spectrum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But Ahsoka almost seems back to full Jedi now. Like the whole Jedi training with Sabine and all that. The crawl called her a Jedi Knight, which that was my biggest complaint.
So, she was quick to point out to Yang, there is no more Jedi Order. So,
right.
And
she even went on to, I didn't use traditional Jedi methods.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you there, Hunter. I did this kind of inference, right? That Ahsoka is a Jedi now. Not digging.
Yeah. Because I don't want this to turn into her finding her way back to the Jedi Code. I would hate that. I think she proved the Jedi wrong, and I think it'd be cool if it sticks with that.
But at the same time, I don't think she ever really abandoned it. Because think of how she dealt with Ezra and Kanan.
Yeah, but she taught them through, I feel like, the Force, not the Jedi way.
Well, I've said this before. I think Ahsoka is truer to the Jedi than the Jedi Order was when we saw them.
Definitely. Same with like Qui-Gon, right? People call them like the best Jedi.
I was just going to mention Qui-Gon because
she
I
is
honestly,
a Qui-Gon level Jedi.
I honestly believe that Ahsoka is the culmination of what Qui-Gon was discovering.
Yes.
That'd be cool. It'd be cool if they interacted.
Oh, totally
That
cool.
would be cool.
I don't know how that would have happened, but
It won't, but it would be cool.
All right, so I have one last little sidetrack to go down here because I may just be forgetting something or whatever. I need to go back and watch that last episode of Rebels. So nobody has any idea then of what exactly happened with Ezra and Thrawn. We have to assume. Because Hera said Thrawn died at that battle. Didn't he? Right?
yeah.
Well, I mean,
but
logically
the way
speaking, he would have.
But I actually really like that part because the way she said it made me think that's what she's been telling herself every night so she can sleep.
Gotcha.
Because she said that with like some malice in it. Like Thrawn's dead. No. Well, no, like this can't be possible. Thrawn's dead. And then she wasn't on board until Ahsoka said Ezra could be alive pretty much. Like, do you think Ezra's alive? Maybe.
I like that. But at the same time, think logically about the condition of that Star Destroyer.
Right.
When they took off into hyperspace.
Yeah.
The viewports are blown out. That's not a space-worthy craft.
True.
But weren't the whales like covering it?
Well, I think Ezra was keeping them in a force bubble to not like get sucked out into space or whatever. I think.
Well, yeah.
I get that. I just,
But I'm just saying, from her perspective, there's no way they survive that.
That's
so
fair.
I don't think
That is
necessarily that she believed anything other than they're both dead.
I guess this is what I'm trying to get straight in my mind. I know what we saw as viewers. I'm trying to imagine back what the characters in the show might have seen to get them to where they're at, So
well, they had Ezra's message, which it seemed like he knew exactly what was going to happen.
Right.
And he almost seemed confident. And he said, I can't wait to see you all again.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe he did actually. Because that
was the big thing. Like, he wasn't going there to die. He's like, I'm sorry, I have to leave.
Right.
And that's what Sabine. I mean, we still see like Sabine's still listening to the message.
Well, that's a separate message from the one that he gave to the whole Ghost crew.
To everyone, yeah.
Yeah.
But still, the fact that like she's still like obsessed over it.
Yeah. Because the one he gave to the whole Ghost crew, he basically, hey Zeb, you can have your top bunk back, and it was pre-planned. He knew he was going to be doing something, and he even says, "I have to do this. I don't want to, but I have to."
Yeah, it almost seems like the Force told him to do this thing. Which,
yeah,
it's a lot of wilds. There's so much stuff that needs to happen.
Exactly.
All right. We didn't get there yet. I don't think. Maybe we did. What was your negative thing, Hunter?
Oh, well, we kind of touched on it. The negative thing was Ahsoka, not feeling like the Ahsoka I know. But in general, my overall negative thing was the acting. I feel like these characters aren't fully the characters we know yet. Especially, I felt it the most in Hera. I feel like Hera is the most like warm and motherly character we know in Star Wars. I feel like this Hera felt a little bit more, again, kind of cold. I didn't get that warmth.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I disagree.
I did not
very,
get that
very
from
much.
Hera. This Hera seems to smile more than the animated Hera to me.
Yeah.
Smile more, but I don't see the emotion in her voice like the other Hera. That was my biggest thing.
Because she definitely had that Hera, like, really? Did you try? Like, there was a lot of that.
The only thing I would say is a little more snarkiness in it. If she, really, did you try? There could be even a little more snarkiness about it.
Yeah.
Me. You know what I'm saying?
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
But I didn't, like, okay, if I had to say there was a character in this that I felt like Sabine, I felt like a lot of stuff she did felt a little wooden, right? Like, kind of stiff, not really that carefree attitude that she's trying to project.
Definitely, yeah. I mean,
Agreed.
I think all three of the main characters, I thought, were still finding their.
Oh no, I still wholeheartedly agree on the Hera thing, or disagree on the Hera thing.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. I don't know, something about her portrayal didn't give it to me. Also, the eyes do kind of freak me out, but that is just a nitpicky thing. They're like glowing.
So you know which character was like right on?
Chopper.
Okay, the other character that was right
character.
on, Ryder Azadi.
Yeah.
It was like
perfect.
Perfect. Yes.
I thought that scene was hilarious. The show, really good on the comedy so far. Not too much.
Exactly.
And it actually lands every time.
I will say I do like that because it's back to that dry Star Wars humor, right? It's like you're not trying to make a joke. It's not slapsticky, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got to some of that stuff with like battle droids, but that's.
Yeah, and Chopper is hilarious.
Yes. But
it's good. It's really, really good. That being my complaint, and it's a complaint where I'm like, I feel like with more episodes, I'll be fine.
I think so
it's
too.
Just, yeah, in the beginning it's just a little jarring, but I think transferring from animation to live action is always going to be that way. Like, I don't have a problem with how Ahsoka's fighting. People are saying, "Oh, she's so much more agile in animation."
Duh.
Obviously, it's animation. She's not going to be flying around and stuff.
So, I do feel like it's going to come together. It's going to be a matter of one, us getting more used to the live action characters, right? And two, them coming into their own on the show. It's going to come together, I think, and we'll be all good with everything in the end.
Yeah, I agree, especially like by season 2, because all the characters love the material at least. Like, they've all seen Rebels, which I think is cool.
Yes.
So they actually know what the characters are like, instead of it just being an acting gig. It's like kind of a fan.
So, Doug, you mentioned Ryder Azadi.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is, why do some characters get to make the cross? So some actors get to make the jump from voice acting to live action, and others don't. Like, what's the criteria here?
I think that was a very small role, and I don't expect to see him much more.
Probably not.
I think that's the criteria usually.
But
like, all the big actors are going to be the main roles.
But I will say, he fit the part perfectly. I mean,
yeah, he looks just like him.
Yeah.
That could be part of it too.
Yeah, but
so he did do the voice?
He did.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, come on.
I know.
Was anyone else?
His voice?
I know.
Was anyone else? Did they make the jump besides Dave Filoni?
Well, I mean, upcoming Thrawn.
Oh, true.
Right.
That's probably, no one else could do the voice. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, like can't do a voiceover.
Not Thrawn's voice. Not as good as he can.
No, but what I'm saying, like, they can't have an actor on screen and someone else do the voice.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Like, that's impossible.
Yeah.
And to think that Vanessa Marshall couldn't be Hera, that's just
right.
I wish.
Well, I mean, if you're going to go that far, Ashley Eckstein, but that's something we talked about a long time ago. So
I will. My one issue with Ashley Eckstein playing Ahsoka, Ashley Eckstein doesn't look like older Ahsoka. Like when they revamp the character,
I agree.
or her adulthood, Ashley doesn't really fit the look. She totally looks like Clone Wars Ahsoka. If they did live action Clone Wars Ahsoka, you better have Ashley Eckstein in costume because
that'd be awesome if we get a flashback with her.
Wow,
that would be really cool.
Well, that would be really
Vanessa
cool.
Marshall as Hera, you could totally do it. They did make all of these animated characters look like the people voicing them a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, and then
so you could totally cross over all of them.
Yeah, Steve Bloom was also Zeb, at least in the Mandalorian thing. So
yes,
nerd jump, but that's a lot of difference. All CGI.
Yeah. He got to voice this straight CGI character.
Yeah,
good for him. But like the live action jumps is the one I'm talking about. Like, I'm not complaining. They've done well so far. But I don't know. Like I can see the same thing with Tia Sakar as Sabine. She doesn't look like an older Sabine even now.
Right.
So I can see that. But Vanessa Marshall?
Yeah, that's the big one. That's
that
honestly,
one for me.
Yeah, over anyone else, that's the one I wish they kept.
So, yeah, I just wondered. Like, what's the criteria here?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a casting agent, so.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think everyone who is in place is doing a well enough job. So
yeah, I think the Sabine's perfect. Like at least look wise.
No, I think they did well.
Yeah.
I will say this: looking at the hologram, I got to question the Ezra a little bit.
Oh,
yeah,
looked old.
It looked old for like young Ezra. I'm like,
right.
Oof.
Yeah, I didn't look too close.
Now he does look like what I would imagine Ezra looking like when he's older.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this hologram is something he recorded when he was young.
Which makes me feel like that's the actor they're using for adult Ezra, which makes me think he's alive.
No, I mean, I wouldn't make that jump, but...
well, maybe it was like a de-aging thing, because why wouldn't they just get a younger-looking person?
Right.
Kind of makes sense. I mean, there's some logic to that.
Yeah.
So I now think Ezra is alive.
I mean, I only have one thing to question that. Like, if Ezra's alive, how's Thrawn alive? And if Thrawn's alive, how's Ezra alive? Like, I don't see these guys traveling together and them both surviving.
Well, Ezra had a lot of chances to kill Thrawn. And he didn't.
I'm just saying, eventually you got to stop fighting and just kill the guy.
Yeah, or find some kind of treaty. I don't know. The whole Ezra knowing exactly what to do before going into this makes me think that like they went to the different galaxy, I guess, or whatever. And then Ezra was instantly like, "Okay, listen to me. I did this for this reason."
So they're working together, at least temporarily.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Bigger enemy, right?
right?
But Thrawn's going to come back and take over the Empire.
Yeah, that plot line.
Well, that's what all the Imperial remnants are hoping for.
It'd be really funny if he's just like, nah, I'm protecting my people.
Right.
It's all this build up like, oh, he's the heir to the Empire. And Thrawn's like, no, I'm done. I'm retiring.
Wouldn't make for good TV.
It wouldn't make for good TV. That is true.
It wouldn't, but I'd laugh pretty hard.
Especially since they're like, they're planning this big movie event to kind of close this out. So you need Thrawn. You need a villain worthy of a movie event.
Well, this, I don't know. You might have hit on something earlier, Hunter, with Thrawn might just be the vehicle to introduce a whole new thing. You were talking Yuzan Vong.
Yeah.
You know.
Because they came from a different galaxy originally, too. So it makes sense.
But wait, you think Thrawn's going to be working with them?
No. I think the desire to go get Thrawn is what opens the doorway to allow the Yuzan Vong into this galaxy.
Yes.
Right, but I was talking about the movie event.
That being the movie event.
Right.
I think I made a joke last time before Ahsoka came out saying, oh, they're going to team up with Thrawn and it's going to be the Avengers is going to be both sides coming together. And now I could actually kind of see that happening.
Yeah, that's what I just asked. Like, could you see Thrawn teaming up with them to defeat this new enemy?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be wild.
Yes.
That'd be wild, wouldn't it? I mean, think about having
awesome.
a strategist like Thrawn with tools like Ahsoka, Sabine, Hera at his disposal.
Huh.
Ooh,
Yeah, and they
interesting,
foreshadowed it by doing the reverse of Phantom Menace. And now they're going to do the reverse of Heir to the Empire.
Ooh.
That'd be something.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Yeah.
I don't see it happening, but
It's an interesting
that is an interesting
thought.
idea.
Yeah.
And actually, if they could weave this into where this threat that they were worried about actually was from outside the galaxy. And this is a culmination of everything Thrawn was working for. That would be something.
Right.
But I kind of got the idea that the Thrawn was preparing the chiss for the Grix.
Yeah, that was at least that's what all the books were. Unless they're like, oh, the Grix were actually a part of the Yuzan Vong. Maybe they pull that card.
Well, I mean, they already pulled the card that this enemy they were fighting was part of this. So there being another tier wouldn't be that much of a stretch.
It wouldn't. And then it kind of satisfies both fans.
Just think of the mind that's behind all of this. You know?
I know.
All right. Well, I'm going back to the Thrawn books.
I might have to do that as well. At least the second trilogy. The first one I remember pretty well.
You said the second one you got to revisit, or
Yeah, the one that's like his actual like growing up and stuff.
Yeah.
The Ascendancy trilogy, I think.
Yeah, those are really good.
I think I tried reading them right after the original, and it was just too much Thrawn, which I didn't think could happen, but it can.
Yeah, it can't happen. I don't know how it happened to you. So, it's an interesting thought.
Yeah, it did get interesting right at the end there, didn't it?
We had to go off the rails just a little bit.
Right.
But
we
I feel like
did
it
that.
wasn't even that off the rails.
It's really not. but it is, because I don't see it happening. I don't see them really going that route. I don't think that they could go all this animation stuff and throw all this novel stuff in.
Yeah, definitely
And
not by
just
season
leave-
1.
And just leave the only watching on Disney Plus and in the theater crowd in the lurch.
There's like, what is this? Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be like that though. I think they would have enough time to build all of this up for every crowd. You know, if you're talking 2 seasons of Ahsoka into a feature film, I think that'd be enough time.
I was thinking like 7, but
Yeah.
I think 7. I think 7 could be pretty cool.
7 seasons.
Yeah. And they get a 4-hour movie.
Right.
I'm with Hunter.
I just hope it stays this high quality.
Yeah,
Like
I got a
Mandalorian.
feeling,
Start
also
writing our
start
letters
high.
now.
I got a feeling it will.
Yeah, we should.
Hey, it worked for the Clone Wars.
Yes, it did.
True.
So I got my response letter to prove it. It works.
That's right.
So, well, we got a lot to chew on before next week.
Yeah, I feel like there's so
I got
much
6
that.
books to listen to.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Actually.
But yeah, a lot to chew on for next week. Any final thoughts, guys? Like, since there's 2 of us, I'll ask it now instead of waiting until after I do my rundown.
Final thoughts. I feel like I missed like 100 things. There was so much that happened and so much more like theory crafting that we're able to do now just from these 2 episodes. I'm still very excited. It's going to be cool being on here weekly for a little bit for just Ahsoka. So I'll be able to actually get all my thoughts out eventually. And yeah, excited. Can't believe I'm saying this. Yeah, excited for the future of Star Wars.
Nice.
Doug?
I think we're in a good spot. I think we are right exactly where I figured we would be after the premiere. And there's I wouldn't say things that really bothered me that much, but things that were a hair off, but brand new show. I think it's got we spend some more time with it, it'll come together for me, and I don't know. I just think we're in a good spot moving forward. I think we're going to get some good story. And if we're going to see Hayden at all, I think it's probably going to be in episode 5. That's the next episode Dave's directing. So prediction.
Makes sense.
Just wanted to throw that in there. Just
Yeah,
lay
why
down
not?
a prediction.
Why not?
That's a good prediction.
It's actually solid.
My prediction, just because I hope I hope Thrawn shows up before the finale. That's just because I really want that to happen.
Gotcha.
Well, don't hold your breath.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, so I feel the same way as you guys. I think this show, it couldn't have kicked off in a better way. Are there things that could have done better? Sure, but I mean, we're not going to get everything we want all the time. It's not going to be perfect all the time, but this is as close to perfect as it could get. I'm really excited to see where the show goes. I think they have a lot to build on, and it could end up being just the show we were looking for. So, with that, I will say, if you have anything to add, you can always email us, show@thewarsandmore.com. That's the best way to get a hold of us. We're also on social media, @thewarsandmore on Twitter, facebook.com/thewarsandmore. You can find all that and all the ways to find the show over at thewarsandmore.com. And we will all be back next week.